My name is Ghib, a Japanese YouTuber living in Singapore.
Oh, I like your hairstyle.
I've created over 200 videos of my life in the Lion City.
Cheers, everybody.
But one thing I haven't done is to make videos about truly made in Singapore products. In this episode, I'm discovering a profession that is almost as old as civilization. It's a craft dominated by Italians, made fashionable by the French, and now attracting Singaporeans.
Nothing happened.
Can local crafters cut it in the luxury leather market?
Hopefully I don't hurt myself.
Singapore is known internationally for its high-end shopping. But having now lived here, I get to see it firsthand. Check out all these branded goods. But one thing they all have in common is the usage of leather. Because of its durability, feel, and complex production process, leather is often associated with luxury. And Singaporeans are buying. From 2010 to 2019, the luxury leather goods market in Singapore grew by 38%. And I've discovered there is a growing number of local artisans hoping to meet Singapore's pursuit for premium, and I'm meeting one of them today. Somewhere far from the glitz of Orchard Road, I'm at the Eunos Industrial Estate. I would never have guessed that premium leather products are made here. This is the workshop of Addynna Azlinor, founder of Forest Child. She started the company 8 years ago, handcrafting a variety of bespoke leather products.
Wow, look at all the products.
Yeah, we don't do just bags. We make watch straps, so leather masks.
A leather mask. This is something you don't really see often.
This is something that came out from COVID.
Right. And is this like a travel bag? This is huge.
It's actually a wine bag.
A wine bag?
Yep.
Wow.
A special request by the client to specifically feed 4 wine glasses, a decanter,
Wow.
and 2 wine bottles. You can't get this in the market. We were to own
Fantastic.
this. Yeah.
So you can carry this, walk along Orchard Road, and you will not see anyone carrying the same bag.
Nope.
Fantastic.
I can guarantee.
This bag retails for around $1,900. Something of similar size from a luxury brand can be double or triple the price.
People always think bespoke has to come with a price. We want to debunk the whole idea. We want to keep it affordable.
Affordability is one thing, but how do her products compare to what you can buy off the shelves? What's the main difference between your wallets and the wallets you can purchase at stores?
Maybe it's easier if I were to show you. Is your wallet store-bought?
Yes.
Right. This is obviously mass-produced, right? As you can see from the stitches. And also, you will see genuine leather. Do you know what that means?
From my understanding, it's real leather. There's no other materials used in the product.
Well, you're not right. Do you want to see what's inside of the leather?
Do that?
Well, we can cut it out.
You want to cut out my wallet? Who would say yes to that, Addynna? Oh boy. My poor wallet.
Oh, well.
Oh boy.
Yes. Look at that. So this is the sponcher, and then you have this cardboard piece. So these materials are just to add to the thickness.
To save cost. Oh,
To save cost as well.
wow.
Yeah. It's like paper. There you go.
You just ripped leather. There are different grades of leather. Full grain and top grain leather come from the upper layer of the animal skin and are more durable. Split grain or genuine leather is the bottom layer. It is weaker and usually cheaper. I feel really cheated now.
Mass-produced leather goods, they would use this genuine leather tone.
You're saying your products do not use these
No.
scrap leather?
No, not at all. We use either the full grain or the top grain.
Clearly, I know nothing about leather. For a crash course, Addynna brings me to AL Leather, a leather supplier right here in Singapore.
This place is surreal. Is that stingray?
Yep, that's stingray.
Wow.
When it comes to leather crafting, you got to know where your leathers come from.
Hello.
That's Andy,
Hi, nice to meet you. I'm Ghib.
the man behind all of this.
Wow.
Welcome to my shop.
To make leather, the animal skin goes through a process known as tanning. This changes the structure of the skin and makes it more durable. There are two main types of tanning. Chrome tanning, where the skin is treated with a chemical known as chromium sulfate. And vegetable tanning, which uses natural products from plants. Vegetable tanning is more expensive, but is the preferred choice for many crafters.
So most of this rack is all vegetable tan from Italy. We buy from good houses. They're mostly byproducts of food. So if we don't use the skins, then they will just go to waste. This is our clicking machine. You just swing it over, press, and then you'll get your wash strap done.
That's so easy and fast.
When I first started about 8 to 9 years ago, I had to source out all the way out of the country. I even went to Malaysia and Thailand.
Now it's so much easier with a
Yes,
supplier.
definitely. So thankful for his existence.
They really inspired me to make something for myself.
Maybe you want to start with making a basic card holder?
Card holder? Sounds good.
Yeah.
Let's go through some leather.
All right.
Okay, we've picked this leather for you. It's European veg tan leather. But first we need to thin it down a little because it's rather thick for a card holder.
Okay, sure.
To get the leather to the exact thickness, it needs to be parsed through this machine, which splits it down to the millimeter. And for good measure, it's cross-checked with a thickness gauge.
Do you want to give it a try?
Sure.
Yeah, just slowly we'll do.
Here it goes. Addynna, do you think this thickness is good?
Yeah, perfect. We can start crafting now. Let's go.
All right.
So we're gonna trace this pattern down onto the leather.
Okay.
There you go. See that?
Okay.
That's where you'll be cutting.
All right. I have a bit of trauma. I was studying architecture, right?
Right.
We had to make a model house, and I accidentally cut myself in the finger. It bled so much. Did that happen to you a lot?
All the time, especially back then when I first started learning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bloody. I hope I don't cut my fingers today.
I'm diving into leathercraft with Addynna Azlinor, the founder of homegrown label Forest Child. And I'm realizing that it requires a lot of patience.
So I hope I don't screw up. All right, doing good so far?
Yep.
Suitably, the company's mantra is that all good things take time.
It's an intricate craft. So if you make any mistake in cutting, not only you're wasting time, effort, and money, but you're also wasting resources. Because after all, this piece of skin was once a living thing.
And how long did it take for you to master this cutting technique?
I've been doing this for about 8 years, so I will not say that I've mastered it, because I'm still learning. It's still a learning process for me. Yeah.
To reduce costs, the leather industry is increasingly automated. There are machines to shave, cut, sew, and assemble en masse.
Why go through a laborious, time-consuming, potentially dangerous hand-making process when this can be done by a machine?
One of the biggest challenges that we are always being compared to the fast fashion and high-end designer brands. They have big machines.
Right.
They have a team of people doing the work. They are diluting the art form of leathercraft.
In Singapore, there used to be over 2,000 leather workers in the 80s. But as machines took over, By 2016, this number fell to around 400. But that seems to be slowly changing. Addynna is part of a new breed of young artisans, hoping to bring handmade goods back into fashion.
Okay,
One shot, one kill.
here goes.
Harder, harder.
Stronger.
Yes.
Ayo.
Much harder.
In my home country, Japan, right? Craftsmen, they are called shokunin, and they're really respected. Does that really happen in Singapore?
Sadly, no, not yet. I'm hoping the culture will be, similar to Japan. Yeah, like how the people there really take pride in their locally made goods.
Yes. It makes me wonder in the first place, what made you start this career?
For that, I got to bring you somewhere.
Sure.
Okay, let's take a trip.
All right.
I was expecting to go there by bus or MRT. Certainly not this.
So this is where you grew up.
That's right.
This is
Welcome to my
crazy.
home.
You must have had a very different childhood compared to the other kids. How was it like?
Every day after school, we just swim, go fishing, find snails, climbing trees, picking up fruits.
Did you name your brand Forest Child because you were raised up here?
I have this emotional attachment to wilderness. So I have a seed of belief in me that I'm the child of the forest. Leather crafting wasn't like, when I grow up, I want to be a leather crafter. No.
No.
I wanted to be a doctor.
A
along that
doctor?
line. Yeah. I did pursue biomedical science.
Oh, okay.
To be honest, I did. But had to drop out because of financial difficulties. So I had to do odd jobs to make ends meet, to still pay for my school loans.
After dropping out of university, Addynna worked as a barista at Handmade in 2010. At that time, the street lined with quaint shop houses had a bohemian vibe. It was where budding artists and entrepreneurs congregated.
I was surrounded by artists, writers, musicians, street performers, very, very creative space.
It was here that Addynna met her leatherworking mentor, Salong.
When I got to know him, I noticed he always carried a leather-bound journal with him. And I got to know that he made it himself, and I was so inspired.
Addynna's mentor took her in as an apprentice and drilled her in the basics of leather crafting. Cutting, gluing, punching, and stitching.
Almost every day after work, I would just practice and make something. So the more I learn about it, the more I want to figure a lot more about this craft. Now it's a perfect opportunity for you to learn. Are we going to continue? Generally, hand-stitched leather products are better in terms of durability and strength of the stitch.
So in Japan, people go overseas to do some apprenticeship. Why didn't you do that?
I started this craft playfully at first. And why not learn from another Singaporean? We have so many local talents. I have seen the pride that they have in their work. Do you know that in Singapore, there's this famous Crocodile tannery that actually supply globally, even to the big fashion brands?
Never heard of that. I have to go there.
It's going to be really eye-opening.
This is news to me because I have never imagined Singapore being a major player in the crocodile leather industry. But what I do know is that the world's most expensive bag sold was actually in Hermes Birkin. It was sold for over 300,000 USD. That is insane. You can buy a house for that.
To learn more about the industry, I got in touch with Yu Chek Hong. His family owns one of the 3 tanneries here in Singapore.
As a kid, I always saw my dad measuring the skins, so I'm playing around with the skin. He started his small leather factory in the backyard, and from there we started the business.
But why
Why crocodile? Because during that time, the 60s, 70s, 80s, the crocodile are good business, good profit to make a living for the families.
A tannery is a place where skins, be it cow or croc, are processed.
Okay, tanning start from here. These are the raw skin.
I'm about to get a heart attack. I've never seen so much crocodile skin.
You can feel, no problem. It won't bite.
Wow, it won't bite, huh?
Yeah, it won't bite.
Are you sure?
Yes.
This is a grade A.
Oh yeah, this is a very clean skin. There's no scar at all.
So what's the difference between cow and crocodile leather?
Cow leather, they don't have any scale and they are just flat.
No texture,
No.
right. And would you say this is more expensive than cow leather?
Oh, of course. To grow a crocodile is a lot of hard work. You have to feed them properly and take care of them properly. And also because of the process, to take away the scale is a lot of work.
Typically, it takes Czech 12 weeks to turn skin into leather. Here, the raw hide gets emulsified, split, shaved, dyed, and dried.
People still demand on crocodile skin. It's still the best skin to use, lasting and special.
It was surreal seeing a pile of crocodile skin. And I know crocodile skin is very controversial, so I had to ask Czech about it.
Do you think this is an ethical thing to do?
We always check on the quality, the standard of the farm. They're always taking care. They give them good food, good space for the animals.
You try to source from the right place,
Yes, right place.
the most ethical way.
Yes, that's right.
Most of his skins come from crocodiles reared in farms in Thailand and Malaysia. They have to meet international standards that protect trade in endangered or wild species. Every skin is issued a tag to certify that the skin comes from a registered farm and is genuine. And finally, cutting the leather to size.
You want to try?
Okay, I will try. But it's expensive, right?
No problem. I'll let
you
you
sure?
cut. Yes.
Personally, I would never spend $300,000 on a leather bag, but I can definitely appreciate it more because I saw how they make it, I saw their dedication, their effort, which reminds me I need to finish my cardholder. I'm gonna make it into a $300,000 piece.
Oh no, not that tool again.
I'm crafting a cardholder with local leathersmiths, Addynna Azlinor. How does the leather crafting scene in Singapore compare to, say, Italy and France?
Oh wow, you can't quite compare. They've been doing this for centuries. Whereas in Singapore, it's rather new, only about a few decades. That's not to say that we don't have talented or skillful craftsmen whose works are known globally.
Wow. And it's not just the finished leather products that are gaining global attention.
The prong that you just used, this breaking iron here, this is actually designed by a local here.
Oh wow.
It's actually really famous in the leather crafting scene, not only in Singapore.
The first ever leather crafting tools were made of stone and bone. And since then, they've been redesigned and refined, with South Korea and China dominating the leather tools market. But one man is making them here in Singapore.
Check out my tools, yes.
Wow. All designed by you.
Yeah, they are all designed by me.
Tam Boon Hui, owner of Crimson Hides, has been a leather tool designer for the past 6 years.
Good tools enable the crafter to have confidence to craft, and also it enables them to craft with greater speed and accuracy.
I can tell it's important because I went to a supplier recently and a lot of the materials are very expensive.
Definitely. So the more error you make, it's going to add up to the cost of the leather product itself. So this is our best seller, Crimson Stitching Irons.
Stitching irons are used to punch out evenly spaced, symmetrical holes into leather for a needle and thread to pass through.
This is made of DC53, which is a very hardened steel. Okay. So the tip doesn't break easily. This is especially important if you have to constantly hammer on it. So this is our irons, and this is what we have in the market. It's a bit more difficult to maneuver down because there is no groove for your finger to actually sit on. Versus one that we have, you can actually rest your finger on it and then you actually can put more pressure on it. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
This is not good. I feel like my fingers might slip down like
Yes.
this.
So when you slip down, you might not be able to position your irons properly.
Right.
Demand for Boone's products come from all over the world. Boone sells on average 3 tools a day and has orders from places spanning Australia to even Russia.
What were you doing before designing these tools?
I was actually working in finance and I was retrenched from my job. My wife was pregnant then. I was a sole breadwinner, so there was a lot of uncertainty as to whether we were able to make it. I was actually doing leather crafting at the same time. As with most people who started out crafting, I started to acquire tools from overseas. I felt that it was a bit disappointing. So that's how I go about trying to think about my own ideas on how to make them. I managed to find one manufacturer who's able to make it for me based on my specification. Initially, the response from the crafting community wasn't that good. Me being in Singapore and not in Italy or France, what makes you think that you can actually create tools that are better than the ones that are made overseas?
How did you overcome?
Well, we win one crafter at a time. When someone uses our tools, they have good things to say, word starts getting around.
Now that I have my top quality leather and world-class tools, there's no way my card holder is gonna go wrong, right?
Or so I thought.
Nothing
Can you get
happened.
it?
Nothing happened. I need more power.
I'm finishing up my card holder at a workshop conducted by Addynna. Despite the pandemic, demand for her classes have gone up by about 30% since 2019. Apart from leather crafting skills, Addynna also hopes to impart the message of sustainability. This workshop uses offcuts, which are the leather scraps from bigger projects. This helps reduce waste.
We conduct this strictly off-cuts workshop with the aim to make them be more aware of what they're purchasing, know where you get the products from and who make them, what are these made of. What I hope is the next few generations would have this mentality and this mindset before they purchase anything off the shelf.
All right. How did you do?
Can I have a look?
Yeah.
Not bad.
Not bad.
Not bad. You gotta see it age with you gracefully.
Yeah.
Great.
Great experience.
The shelf life all depends on you, Ghib. You gotta take care of it.
I will. It's really mind-blowing how much time and effort these young people are putting into perfecting their skill, their craft. And it makes me wonder, why go for branded goods in the first place? Why travel overseas to buy these products? Why not buy these in Singapore? Because there are so many talented people making beautiful products in this country. And I'm excited to see where this will lead to.
In the last episode of Handmade Tales,
These are so adorable. My wife will love these.
I get hooked on crochet art.
There's a therapeutic effect. I forget all the struggles and
Yes.
pain happening around my life.
And go down the wonderful rabbit hole of slow crafts.
Oh wow.